I'm Andy and welcome to my channel about crypto. In today's video, I just want to give you a quick update on the current market situation and a few thoughts about, well, what I think the market is going to do in the coming weeks and months. There wasn't really that much of a price action in the last few days, so basically since my last video. So you may think that, well, what's the point of making this video if not much has changed? But there are a few additional thoughts that I wanted to mention. So yeah, I think it's still worth sticking around and watching it and essentially seeing where we are heading. And of course, if you haven't seen the previous video, then all this content is going to be new for you. So as always, if you like those videos, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also please do check out my private Discord. You can find the link in the description. So like I just said, well, Bitcoin hasn't really done much in the last few days. It just keeps bouncing up and down around 30K, but there aren't really any significant movements, especially in the last 5 or 6 days. However, we have to note that if we look at the weekly candles, Bitcoin now had 8 weekly closes in red, and so far this week looks red as well. That never happened before. I think actually the maximum before was 6, so 7 was already a record, and 8, well, that's yet another week on top of that. What I'm trying to say is that while we are quite obviously in a downtrend, you don't need anyone to tell you that. Well, we can't stay in the downtrend forever. So I would speculate that the longer we stay in a downtrend, the higher the probability of some sort of a relief rally coming quite soon. And of course, we've been talking about this in this channel and plenty of other channels. People are talking about the possibility of Bitcoin bouncing back to about 35K, possibly even closer to 40K. And we'll look at those scenarios in a minute. So essentially, in short, the longer we are staying in this downtrend, the higher the likelihood of bounce happening very, very soon. Of course, how high we will go, that remains to be seen. But if we zoom out a bit, we can draw a couple of lines, as we usually do on the chart, and essentially look at our previous trend line, which we defended so nicely quite a few times until, well, we didn't. And then, of course, another line to consider, or if you wish, you could look at the wicks. So something like this, perhaps. I would prefer the top line because I think closes are much more important than wicks, but you can take your pick if you wish. And then also, well, we can look at what our 20-week moving average is doing. Let's draw something like this. It's not perfect, but it will do. So basically what we're seeing here is that these lines, especially I would say the top one, that used to be our support is essentially now our resistance level. If we do get any sort of relief rally, I don't expect we will go above this line. As a matter of fact, because our 20-week moving average is coming down and is currently just under 40 grand, I would expect that actually the moment we hit that level, we'll probably get rejected. So overall, I would expect if we do get a relief rally soon, and I would speculate that it should happen relatively soon, I would expect the Bitcoin to go no higher than essentially any of those lines. And given really bearish sentiment in the market at the moment, I would play it safe and go with the lowest possible value. So essentially, let's say that Bitcoin does something like this in the next 2 weeks. I would expect it to basically get rejected at the 20-week SMA because that's going to be the lowest level at that point. So around 37K. Basically, I'm hoping for a relief rally to around 35K. It may go higher than that, but personally, I would be exiting a lot of my positions at around 35K because I think that, yeah, we may then go to around 40K, we may not, but after that rally, I expect another dip, and like I said in my previous video, I expect that to go back to the mid-20s or even lower, which would be the point at which I will be buying back, or start DCAing into my positions in sort of somewhere in the 20s. So that's pretty much my strategy at the moment. Frankly, at this point, I'm beyond trying to estimate when it may happen. If I was to guess, I would say that it's going to be in the next week or two, sort of very end of May or early June. But I wouldn't be surprised if it would just sort of keep bouncing up and down for a bit longer. I don't think we will. I think something has to happen. We either have to go up or down, and I would expect that the next move will be up. But, well, you never know with crypto. So, yeah. In any case, I expect the whole summer to be rather bumpy. Of course, we have ETH merge coming at the end of the summer, hopefully. So there is an argument that ETH could have a bit of a rally. There may be other things happening, but I'm not expecting any major moves. I think basically Bitcoin will be bouncing in that sort of 25 to 35K range for the most of the summer. And once we have some sort of capitulation event, which I would expect to be anything between 20 to 25K for Bitcoin, then hopefully, well, that will start fueling the next bull run. But I think we may still need to wait for it quite a bit. If we zoom out and go to the previous market cycle, so basically here in 2017, 2018, we had a lot of those up and down bounces, then quite a prolonged period when not much was really happening. So that was from 7th of September or early September until mid-November. So pretty much 2 months, over 2 months, when there wasn't really much happening in terms of price action. And then we had this massive, massive drop. So you could argue that we could see something similar, Bitcoin not doing much for potentially even another couple of months before we will see the actual capitulation. And even that capitulation can actually still take quite a bit. I mean, from the first day when the price started going down on the 14th of November until we bottomed out, it was still around a month or so. What I'm trying to say is that it may take a while before we actually bottom out and start going back up. So with that in mind, of course, crypto fear and greed index is in extreme fear territory, and I don't really expect it to move anywhere from that. And if we look at my favorite gaming altcoins, well, there isn't really much to be looking at. It's a bit of a shit show, really. I don't expect them to do anything until Bitcoin actually starts going properly up. There may be some exceptions here and there, but generally I expect them to stay very, very low. I'm not giving up on any of those projects at the moment. I think they all have potential, but like I said many times, now it's not the time to be investing in altcoins. It's better to stack cash. It's better to buy Bitcoin, maybe ETH, but generally just stack cash and wait, and better times will come. I have absolutely no doubt about that. And I want to be ready to enter those positions. But at the moment, yeah, I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen. If you've seen this list before, you maybe noticed that I added ApeCoin to my watch list. And it's a bit of a random addition because, as you know, or as you can see here, all of those alts are either small or, in the current market, micro-cap altcoins. A lot of them are just sort of 20, 30 million. Not many of them are above 50 million. So why added ApeCoin, which has more than 2 billion market cap, even in this bearish market? Well, I am extremely bullish on the whole Bored Ape ecosystem. And with everything that's happening with the Otherside, I think that it makes sense to buy some ApeCoin, especially if we do get capitulation event, and of course all altcoins will dip. I think it's definitely worth keeping this one in mind. Of course, it will not do 50x or 100x anytime soon. The market cap is way too high for that. But I think it has potential to do really well while being a reasonably safe investment. And also what's really important is, well, I'm invested in the Otherside ecosystem. I have Otherdeed, and it's pretty much guaranteed that ApeCoin will be really important if you want to participate in that ecosystem. So you may as well buy some ApeCoin while the price is low. Good example of that was the actual mint of Otherdeeds, which you could only do by spending ApeCoin. You needed 305 ApeCoins per deed. And a lot of people were buying it, myself including, at around $20, or I think I was buying at around $18. Some people were buying something like $22, $25. There will be another 100,000 plots available in the Otherside metaverse. There will be available to those who already hold a plot and who will be participating in essentially in developing that metaverse, which will be starting on the 16th of July. But I think it's pretty much a given that you will need ApeCoin to participate, to complete a lot of the task within Otherside. And I'm pretty sure you will need it to mint your next Otherdeed if you will be eligible for that. So because of that, and because of the first part of beta testing of Otherside happening on the 16th of July, I think that ApeCoin may essentially go against the trend, and the price of ApeCoin may start going up, especially as Yuga Labs will start releasing more and more information about Otherside. Bit of a speculation, but I think that's quite likely to play out. So definitely worth keeping an eye on this one. Other than this, there isn't really that much more to say about the current market situation. It is what it is. It's not exactly a great situation to be in. But like I said many times before, it's the perfect time to learn more about this space, to research new projects, to essentially prepare yourself for the next bull run. Because if you enter the market when everything is pumping, when Bitcoin's already like 50, 60K or whatever, well, you miss this essential early stage where the prices are really low and where you can get in at a really good price point. And at the same time, at the relatively safe stage when it's quite clear that the market is picking up. But the vast majority of people will just basically stop paying attention to crypto for the next few months until things will start pumping. So yeah, I think the opportunity is definitely here, and it's important to stick around during those times, learn more about the space, learn about new projects, and yeah, I think it will then put you in a really good position in the coming months and years. So I think that's it from me for today. Not a huge update, but essentially it's just all about those key levels when it comes to Bitcoin. So around 35K, I think that's when it will be safe to exit your position or positions you may have. Not necessarily because the prices will be pumping, but basically because there will be likely a dip coming shortly after that. Certainly, if there is any sudden upwards movement from Bitcoin, anything beyond sort of 33K, don't assume that it's the beginning of the bull run. Even if Bitcoin goes to 38, 40K, of course, there's a possibility that I am wrong, but I think it's far, far, far more likely that we'll then revisit those lower levels before we actually get a proper bull run. If anything changes, of course, I'll be talking about this on this channel, but essentially that's what I'm expecting to happen in the coming weeks. Short relief rally followed by another dip and a great opportunity to accumulate. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section. Please join the Discord. We can carry on discussions there. And thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.